Alright. So let's start the class. I saw your homework, you have sent it, and I saw that you have done the calculation. What was your homework? When was the last time you did homework? Can you, okay, get up, move that, this thing, organize yourself. You cannot stay unorganized ever or forever. You forgot? What all do you forget? What are the things that you forget? You did that, yeah. Here I'm hearing from some of the kids saying you forgot, they forgot. So Rehan said that he forgot, but he promised that he'll bring it next time. But you guys, I'm still trying to recollect. When was the last time you had done homework? Maybe 4 months ago? Okay. So no wasting time. Let's come back to work. So can you put your notebook, pen, pencil box, everything in a place and make sure that there is no noise coming out of it? Good. It takes 10 seconds to take the pencil and this thing out. And this will not remain open because that's a waste of time. You will only focus on what we are doing in the class. Okay? Alright. So first thing first, tables. Are you cold? Are you cold? No? Okay. So we'll check the tables first and then we will learn something today. What are you busy with? Okay. So Sarita first. Table till 5?
Yes.
4 8 ja.
32.
5 9 ja.
45.
3 7 ja.
41.
2 9 ja.
80.
3 8 ja.
44.
5 6 ja.
30.
3 9 ja.
47.
4 8 ja.
32.
Good job. So now I will not say this. Now do you think, Sohita, you are doing better with tables now? Yeah? And is it happening because of any magic? No, right? There is nothing called magic. It's only hard work. So whoever does the hard work will see the magic. And that's the magic we saw just now. So what that means is you'll keep putting 5 minutes of effort every day. Okay? Every day 5 minutes. Because whatever we have learned, we don't want to forget that. Okay? And then we will go to table of 6 from the next class. Okay? Yeah? Okay, now here, let's see if I can see more magic here in the classroom. Rehan, ready? Table till? 5. 4 6 0.
24.
Okay, 3 9 0.
27.
2 8 0.
16.
5 3 0.
15.
4 9 0.
36.
3 8 0. 3 8 0. Yeah, 3 8 0.
24.
Okay. 4 7 0.
28.
Okay. So it was also magic, but smaller magic. I want to see bigger magic. And how will that magic happen? By practicing more. So, see, from the next class, we want to start table of 6. What that means is, from tomorrow till next Sunday, make sure that you are spending 10 minutes every day, okay? Make sure that till table of 5 we have no problem, okay? That's what we want to do. So that then when we go to 6, we are ready for 6, okay? How about you, Yug? Table till?
7.
4 9 ja.
36.
5 4 ja.
20.
6 9 ja.
54.
7 5 ja.
25.
4 8 ja.
32.
5 7 ja.
35.
6 8 ja.
48.
7 9 ja.
63.
So, see, there is one good thing, okay? I will not be shy when I have to appreciate you guys for doing something good. One thing good that happened in the class, everybody, be it Yug, be it Rehan, be it Sohita, nobody gave me a wrong answer, okay? So that certainly makes me happy as a teacher. Now, is that enough for me to be happy? Probably not. Little more. I need little more happiness. And how will that come?
Practice.
Practice. It will come by me saying the same thing that I have said 100 times already. So I'm saying 101st time. I want you to be quick. Now you are being correct. I want you to get quicker also. Because that is what will help you do math fast and then do accurately. If I say 17 5 ja 85, I don't have to think, right? That is how I want you guys to get, okay? Now, so, and I know I might be sounding like a crying baby who keeps crying for everything. Please practice, please practice, please practice, please practice, and only practice. That's the only way you guys can be better than everybody else in your class. Okay? Yeah? Where is that going? Whatever I said, where did that go? Did it go to the room heater? Did it go to the bathroom? Did it go to outside the classroom? Where did it go? It has to reach your ears and get registered in your brain. So this is your entry point to your brain. Okay? If your ears are clogged, if you have not cleaned your ears recently with the earbuds, then it is getting stuck here. It comes and rebounds. Okay? Make sure that you are keeping your ears clean so that your entry to the brain is working fine. Okay? Alright. So now let's start. So what do we want to learn today? We are going to learn about measurements.
I know that.
Okay, you already know measurements?
I learned it today.
No, I don't know the whole time measurements, but I just know you were saying that we're gonna learn.
Measurements, yes.
I did measurement.
You did measurements?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Now, let's look at my hand. Come here, Rehan.
1, 2.
No. Don't count the fingers. I'm saying look at my hand. And then look at Rehan's hand. Which hand is bigger?
Yours.
Mine, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is just no, go sit down. So now, and you are able to see me on the screen. When Rehan came here, you could not see him. Do you know why?
You're bigger, he's smaller.
I'm bigger. I'm reaching till the camera so that you can see me. But Rehan was somewhere here near my chest. So that's why, since my chest is not visible in the camera, so you could not see Rehan, right? So what comes out of that? There's something called height. You all know that, okay? Somebody is taller, somebody is shorter, right? Somebody is a baby, somebody is a grown up, right? Youth, can you stay away from the heater? You know that is dangerous. Do you know that? I told you 3 times with saying this way, and you again go that way. There's something called tail of a puppy. Puppy's tail, have you seen how does it look?
Yes.
It's always like this. You stretch it, make it straight. Again, as soon as you leave, it goes there. Again, you stretch it, make it straight, leave it, comes here. That is what you guys are doing. I tell you not to do something. As soon as I am done, you again do the same thing. Don't do that. Okay, that's not a good thing. Because that is where the teachers, the parents struggle. They put effort every day to teach the kids certain things, which is good or not good. Okay. And the only way you can make them happy is by not repeating the same mistakes. Okay, coming back to the thing. So now I said that Sohita's hand is also smaller than mine. Okay. And she can say, okay, my hand is this big and my teacher's hand is this big. But these are all, there's no science, there's no way to say. I mean, if I say, okay, this is my hand. Doesn't look like my hand, but that's okay. This is Rehan's hand. This is Sohita's hand. This is Yug's hand. What do you see? This is bigger, this is smaller, very small, this is little bigger, this is little bigger. But how do we know? What is the way to find out? Is this the biggest hand in the world? Probably not.
No.
There might be other hands bigger than this. Yes, Sohita?
Because we can measure it.
We can measure it. So now what we are trying to see, when we grow up as a child, we say, okay, see my hand is small, see your hand is big. That is what a baby says. But when we start growing up, we start finding out ways to measure things. Now if you guys have to guess how tall I am.
5 feet 2.
Okay, that's very tall, 5 feet 2 inches. That's what you is saying. How tall are you?
I don't really know.
Okay, so Ita, any guesses how tall I could be?
Maybe 102?
102 what?
Yeah.
102 and 5?
Okay.
That's very, very tall.
Okay, how about you?
7 feet.
7 feet? I wish I was that tall.
That's a bare feet.
Yeah, that's a very... So now, see, based on when I'm hearing you guys, now let's look at some more examples. Where do you live, Sohita? Which place? Do you know the name of the city?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Texas.
Texas is the name of the state. Which city?
Irving.
Irving, right? So Irving, I live in McKinney. Where do you live? Frisco?
Somerville. Like my road? Oh, yeah, Frisco.
Frisco.
Yeah.
You also in Frisco?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I live in Frisco.
Yeah. So I live in McKinney, Yug and Rehan live in Frisco, and Sohita lives in Irving. Now, Yug and Rehan will say, I live very close by. That's why they drive to the class. They come to the class. Because it is probably 3-4 miles.
It takes 10 minutes to
10 minutes.
go to his house.
10 minutes. So maybe 7 miles, 6 miles. Now Sohita lives in Irving, which is where I go to work every day. And that is 40 miles from here. 40 miles.
40.
Yeah. So now see, whatever we are discussing here, there is no math. There is a lot of information. We talked about the length of the hand, this being small, something being big, something being small. Then we talked about distance from my house to Yug's house or Rehan's house. We talked about distance from my house to Sohita's house. And we talked about 40 miles. We talked about 5 miles. Now, let's look at my neighbor's house.
Son,
Yep.
you're glitching.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. Yeah. So, if I talk about, so this is from my house to Yug's house distance. This is from my house to Sohita's house distance. Okay? And we'll come to that. Now, let's talk about my neighbor's house, my neighbor who lives next door, how far he is from my place?
1
Probably.
second.
Say that again.
1 second.
I'm not talking about, I'm saying how far.
1 mile.
I said next door neighbor. I'm not living in a jungle where two houses are 1 mile apart.
What?
I'm talking about somebody living in my neighborhood. He is probably 2
5
meters,
inches.
2 meters away from my place.
I would say 5 inches.
Do you know how much is 5 inches? This is 5 inches.
Oh.
Do you think my neighbor?
Yes.
Yeah, that one, 5 or 6 inches. Do you think my neighbor lives only this far from my place?
No.
Right? So he lives probably 2 meters or 5 meters away from my place. Okay. Now, see all these that we see here. These are different ways to measure what distance. Yeah. Now, if I say, you guys said, how big is this pen? 5 inches or 6 inches?
Yes.
Yeah. How big is this cap?
1 inch or 2 inch?
1 or 2 inches?
1 inch.
See, Sohita, if Sohita opens up her pen, that is probably half an inch, right? If you take the cap out in the front, that will be like half inches.
What about this? I took it off.
Yeah, that is like 1/3 of an inch. Yeah. So now put it back. So all that we have talked about so far, these are different ways to measure distance or length, right? You guys talked about, some of you guessed that I am 5 feet 2 inches tall. That is little less than my height. I am 5 feet 7 inches tall. Okay? So maybe you guys 3 feet half inches tall. Sorry, 3 feet and 6 inches tall, or maybe close to 4 feet. You are probably 3 feet 8, 9 inches tall. How tall are you, Sohita? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
You don't remember? You guys are anyways growing. My height is fixed now. I'm not going to grow further.
Why?
Let's ask God for that answer.
God, why is he?
So Yogi is asking why I cannot grow. So I said, okay, now that answer only can come from God.
God, why is he?
Okay, so you stop wasting your and everybody else's time. Okay. Now let's come back to actual thing that we're trying to learn. So whatever we have talked about, we are talking about how do you measure length, and there are different units for measuring length. If you look at, when we were talking about long distances, we were talking miles. When we were talking about little smaller distance, we were talking in miles. When I was talking about distance between my house and my neighbor's house, we talked in meter. When we talked about the pen, we talked in inches. When we talked about the cap, we talked in inches, right? And when we talked about height, we talked, my height is 5 feet 7 inches.
My head 500.
So it's 5 feet 7 inches. Yeah? So Ita's height may be close to 4 feet.
Mine's close to 4 feet.
Yu's height also 4 feet. Rehan may be little less than that, 3 feet 10 inches maybe. So here, what are the different things that we heard about? We heard about miles, we heard about meter, we heard about feet, we heard about inches. All these are units to measure length or distance. If we use a wrong unit, what will happen? If I say I'm 7 meters tall, imagine how tall I would be. I would look like a monster. Yeah?
You'd be like,
Right?
you
So
would be as tall as the house or maybe the.
okay, let's not extend that. So what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say, if I say Rehan is 3 miles and 10 feet tall, imagine how tall Rehan would look like. He will look 10 times bigger than those skyscrapers. Right? So it's very important for us to know and understand what do we mean by the unit of measurement. Which unit of measurement you would use for measuring what? You focus on 101 times. Let me start counting now. So I have told you to concentrate in the class 101 times. Okay. Now every time I have to remind him, I will increase that by 1, and then we'll see how much it goes to. Okay. Now, so it's very important for us to understand the unit that we are using for measurement. I cannot use miles for measuring anybody's height. I cannot use inches for measuring a distance. Okay. Now, if I say my house is 40 inches away from Sohita's house, Sohita can just walk into the classroom. She doesn't have to even take a car. Because 40 inches is what? Only this much.
Not this much.
40 inches.
40.
40 inches will be like this much. Little more than 3 feet. That's it. So that's why it's very important for us to understand the unit of measurement. Which unit of measurement do we use at what time? That is very important. Okay. Now so what are the things that we heard about? Let's look at it.
You reached 110.
So now that becomes 102. Okay. So 102 times I reminded you to stay focused in the class. So every time he gives me a chance, I'll increase that by 1. Now, here, so we talked about inches, we talked about feet, we talked about meters, we talked about miles. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Inches, feet, miles, meters and miles. So, these are different units of measurement that we use for measuring distance or length. Now let me see if anybody's pencil box has a scale. You guys don't have a scale, right? That's okay. Now look at this. You all would have seen something like this, which we call as ruler or scale. Yeah?
Yes.
So on one side you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, and here at the bottom you will see, so it goes up till, let's say,
My one goes up to 12.
which one?
The one I had, how would it go?
That means you have never looked at your scale carefully. It goes till 30. Okay? And here you will see something written as centimeters. Okay? On this side, you will see 1, 2, 3, and goes up to 12. And on the top, you will see something written as inches. So the scale or the ruler that we use, mostly, you will see, if you are looking at the long one, you will see on one side there is a 30 written, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 30, and other side 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 12. Okay? What that means is 12 inches equals 30 centimeters. Right? It's the same scale. If you look at it from this side, 30 centimeters. If you look at it from this side, 12 inches. So both are the units for measuring the length. Okay? You can say something in centimeters or you can say something in inches. Now you look at this one. This is probably 6 inches and 15 centimeters, whichever you want to use. Okay? Both are for measuring small length. So I might be a little wrong, but this is approximately 15 centimeters or 6 inches. You can say 15 centimeters, that is also right. You can say 6 inches, that is also right. Now, so that means you would have seen two scales like this. One is a smaller one where you will say 1, 2, up to 15. 1, 2, up to 15, and this says centimeters. On this side you will see 1, 2, and will go on till 6, and here you will see inches written. Okay. So this is what we use for drawing straight lines or for measuring small length. Okay? Yeah? Is that clear? So this is one thing. Now let me show you guys something else. You have some problem for which I don't have a fix. So okay, see, this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is called a measuring tape.
I know you know that.
Yeah. So
Yes.
see, when I have to measure something with a small scale, which is much smaller in size, I can use this small scale or the ruler or the little bigger one. If I have to measure something bigger than that, see how big this tape could be. Yeah. Yeah. So this can measure probably up to, what does it say? It can measure up to 12 feet or 3.5 meter. 12 feet. So little more than 2 times my height and then or 3.5 meter. Now if you look at it carefully, look at it. What do you see at the bottom? One, two, three, these are centimeters. Okay?
I can see it.
I'll come to you, beta. So here you see centimeters.
2 feet, that is 12 feet.
Don't go anywhere. That is not feet. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, the top, that is inches, and the smaller ones that you see, those are centimeters. So if you see it, Sarita, here, you can see that at the bottom you have smaller ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are centimeters. At the top, what you see are inches. Yeah?
Yeah.
So when you're looking at your scale will look more like a rectangle. This is like a ribbon, right? It's like a tape. And so there are different ways we can measure this the length or the distance. You can use different scales for doing it. So we have seen inches, feet, meter and miles. Now we saw centimeter also. So centimeter is smaller than inches. So that's what we saw here. 12 inches equal to 30 centimeters. Okay, this is just an information. Don't worry about it. This is not to get you guys stressed out. Can I add one? Make it 104. So you are not here in the class to make fun of yourself or of this class. Okay, I mean you cannot make fun of me for sure. That is given. Now I'm saying you are not here to make fun of what we are doing in the class. So I would want you to stay very focused, very serious. I'm not saying that we will not have fun in the class, but then anything that gets you distracted or gets anybody distracted in the class, that will not be acceptable. Okay? Otherwise, I'll keep on increasing the number. I'll take a picture of this. I'll say this is the number of times I have told you not to do anything apart from what we are doing in the class. Okay? Now, so remember this number. It's 103. Okay? I'll keep on implementing this every time you give me a chance.
How would it be in the hundreds first of all?
What is that?
How would it be in the hundreds first?
You did 1,000 based on your performance so far. I'm being generous enough to give you 100. Every class, 1 hour if I'm spending, I'm reminding you to stay focused, not to do anything unnecessary, at least for 20 to 30 times. How many classes you have attended so far? At least 50. And out of 50 classes, if you multiply that by 20, that makes it 1,000. And I'm able to do that because I have learned tables. 50 into 20. I can calculate it very quickly and say 1,000. This is because I remember tables. Okay? So, now coming back to a serious point. So, you have different ways to measure the distance. Depending on how big or small thing you are trying to measure, you will use the different right units. Now, if I just make a table like this, what I will do is, I'll put it like this, where there are two different ways of measuring things. I will put centimeter one side meter, the same side, and this side I will put inches, foot or feet, and then miles. Okay? Now, what did I do? What did I do? We had come across units such as centimeters, inches, feet, meters, and miles. I put them into two groups. What happened, Sarita?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. Now, so coming back to this one, I'm saying all the different units we heard about or we learned, centimeter, meter, inches, feet, miles, I have put that into two different groups, okay? These are two different families. These are two different families of units, okay? And what is the name of the family? This is called metric system and this is called US customary system. Okay? So what happens is, US is very different. US as a country is very different. They use a different system of measurement. Okay? Here nobody says kilometer. Remember? Nobody says, if whenever you go to India and you talk to anybody, they'll say, okay, I have to go 200 kilometers to go to this place. Or I have to go 5 kilometers to go to this place. They don't say talk in miles. They talk in kilometers or meters or centimeters. Wherein, go ahead. Whereas in US, people don't talk in kilometers. They talk in miles. They talk in foot. They talk in inches. Because these are two different systems that people use. So US as a country uses a system called US customary system and the whole world uses metric system. Why metric system? Because you have a meter in that, right? Meter, that's why it becomes metric. And whatever you use in US, that is called US customary system. Okay? I know it might look little it might look stressful. Don't get stressed out. These are the same thing but looked at by two different sets of people. Okay? When you go to India, you will talk in meter, centimeter, kilometer. When you are in US, you will talk in inches, foot or miles. Yeah? When you're talking about long distance, which unit you will use? When you're talking about long distance, which unit you will use?
Meters.
Okay? So Ita,
I can't hear you.
I'm saying, if you have to tell me how far is, let's say, New York from Dallas, which unit you will use? How far is New York from Dallas? Will you use that, say that in centimeters or foot or feet, or you will use meter or you will use miles?
Miles.
I heard meter, I heard miles. What is your thought?
Feet.
Feet. See, we can use feet, you can use miles, and you can use meter. These are three answers I got. Now let me give you guys my answer. So distance from Dallas to New York will be somewhere around 1500 miles. Okay. Now let's talk about that in feet. So this will be 1500 into 3 into 1760. This many feet. Now think about it. This will be almost like 4 plus 4, some million feet. Okay? And you can say meter also. That will be 1500 into 1.6 into 1000. This many meters. So that will be also few millions of meters. Okay? So now we have three choices. We can measure the distance from from Dallas to New York in miles. We can measure that in meters, or we can measure that in feet. Now, if this task is given to one of us, okay? Now, this is the tape you have. When you have to measure in feet or meter, so see, this is this is 1 feet. This is 1 feet, okay? Now you take this scale and start measuring from Dallas. Keep going towards New York. Imagine how many months or years it will take for you.
A long time.
So what I'm trying to say is, you have to choose the right unit. Let's say if you have to measure my height, okay? If you are using this scale, so you'll say, okay, fine, 5 feet 7 inches. So this is from, you'll measure from here to here, 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet and 7 inches. Yep, done. If I say measure my height in centimeter, now this is 1 centimeter. You start from here. How much time will it take? Much more than what it will take if I use.
About 1 hour.
So what I'm trying to say is,
40 times it might take.
that is not important. What is important is, are we using the right unit to measure the distance or not? Now let's say, if I have to measure distance between my house and Rehan's house, which is 5 miles. If I have to measure that in centimeters or inches, it will take me long time. Rather, I will use my car and use the speedometer of the car, which says in miles. I'll just keep driving from here to your place and see how much the speedometer, how much the meter changed, and that is the measurement. Yeah. So you have to always choose the right unit depending on what you are trying to measure. Is it a small thing? Is it a big thing? And then accordingly you choose here. So based on whatever I showed you guys, inches are very small, foot is bigger than that, and miles is biggest. See, you are measuring the length of the pen using inches, 6 inches. Yeah?
Yeah.
I was taller than the pen, right? Am I taller than the pen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah? So that's why you did not say my height in inches. You said, okay, we'll use a bigger unit, which is foot. And that'll be easier. If I have to measure distance between my house and Rehan's house, or my house or Sohita's house, I will not use foot or inches. That will be a waste of time. I'll use a bigger unit, miles. Right?
Yeah.
Imagine the distance between my house and Sohita's house. Let's look at it. Let's say Sohita lives
Brooklyn.
40 miles away from my place. 40 miles, if I have to convert that into foot, that will be 40 times 3 times 1760, which becomes 12 6 are 72, 12 7 are 84 plus 7 91, 9, 12 1 are 12 plus 9 21. My house is 211,200 feet from Sohita's house. Versus I am saying 40 miles from my house. Which one is easy to understand? 40 miles.
Miles from my house.
Yeah. So you would not want to use something which just unnecessarily becomes big and complicated by choosing the wrong unit. Yeah. So now comes the interesting thing. That might be a little early for you guys to know, but there is no harm in knowing this. Okay. Now I said that you can measure the distance or length using the system that the whole world uses, which is called metric system, or you can measure the distance or length using the system that is used only in US, which is called US customary system. Okay. So you can choose. When you go to India, you will not talk in miles, you will not talk in inches, foot, you will talk in meter and centimeters or kilometers. When you are in US, you will talk in inches, foot and miles. That's it.
Why does, like, that one, the other side, why does it all in meters?
There's nothing funny about it. These are two different systems. Your name is Yug, my name is Biren. Whose name is funny? None. Both are right. Isn't it? Sunita, is that a fair point? Is my name funny? No. So it's my name, right? My parents gave me one name, your parents gave you your name. And both are right. Likewise, there are two systems. Okay? See, US has a different government, India has a different government, right? Who are running the country. Nothing wrong with it. They have chosen the way to run the country, and US has chosen its own way to run the country. As simple as that. Same way, when things were evolving, when human civilization was changing, everybody decided their own ways. Okay? So people in everywhere except US, they decided to use this system, and that became a standard. US came up with its own system, that became another standard. So there are two standards, nothing wrong or right. Okay? So be it meter, kilometer, centimeter, or be it inches, foot, or miles, both are right. Okay? Just that these are used in two different places. Now, another example. In this whole world, you have people who eat only vegetarian food, and there are people who eat non-vegetarian food, and there are people who eat more than non-vegetarian food also. Okay?
What's more than enough?
Meaning, if you know about the Indian culture, right? In Indian culture, you will know that there are some people who are eating veg, meaning no meat. There are some people who eat veg plus chicken, like me, okay, or fish. And then there are people who eat other meat types also, right? So that's what I'm saying. But nothing is right or wrong. It's everybody's choice. Likewise, these two countries, these two systems are decided by choice. People decided, agreed, and made it a standard. Yeah? Now, again, I'm not trying to differentiate between people with certain food habits. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that these are two different ways we have defined things, right? Okay, now, so I said that when you're looking at small units, small distance, small length to measure, you'll use inches. Anything bigger than that, like my height, Sohita's height, Rehan's height, Yug's height, you'll use feet. And distance from my place to Sohita's place, my place to Rehan's place, my place to Yug's place, you'll use miles. These are different sizes of the unit. Now let's try understanding that a little bit more. Yeah, you have a question? Yeah, please. Now, there are two systems, metric system and use customary system. You can think about this way, okay? This is something that came from Europe. Okay? That because when India was ruled by Britishers, we learned this thing from them. Okay? So that is how we inherited metric system. So that's why in India you talk in gram, kilogram, meter, centimeter, all those things. Okay? In US, when we came to US, we saw that okay, you use different units for measurement. Right? There's another interesting thing that you would have noticed. When in India, when you have to turn on a switch, if this is a light switch, right? When you have to turn it on, you press it down. Here in US, how does it work? When you have to turn it on, you press it here, so that the bottom portion is up.
I don't have it. I have the India one.
India one? Okay, then okay, here. Anyway, so if you look at the garage door also, same thing. Right now, the up light is there, and that is why it is closed. When I press the up light and bring the bottom one up, this opens up. That's how the switches are in India and US. That's a difference, okay? So anyways, I'm just saying that there are different ways things are done, and there are different units that is used for measurement. Tired, Sarita? Tired? Kind of? No? Okay. Okay. We will just spend 5-10 more minutes, okay? Now, it is little early for you guys to know this, but still, there is no harm in learning. Now let's look at it. So, we have two systems, metric system. We call it system, metric system of measurement, or US customary system. So, US customary system. And a lot of these things you will learn in the next grade, okay? But you are getting used to it now. So here, what are the things that you come across? If you look at a metric system for distance, it is millimeter, meter, centimeter, decimeter, meter, decameter, hectometer, kilometer. See, what do you see here? You have everything in meter. Millimeter is a very small thing, very, very small thing. Now, you will ask me, what is a millimeter? Now you look at this. This is 1 centimeter, 2 to 3, this is 1 centimeter. If you break this into 10 pieces, every line is a millimeter. Every small line that you see, that is a millimeter. Okay? So, don't worry about this right now, just understand this. Millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, meter. So meter is something like this big, okay? That we use for, let's say, if I have to tell you how much will be my height in meter, it will be probably 1.6 meter, okay? Okay? So this is very small, this is the biggest one. So this is what you use for measuring distance in India. You will say 20 kilometers from this place. Meter is for measuring small distances, and millimeter and centimeter you can use for measuring the length of the pen or something, okay? Alright? So, I am not going to tell you how are they related. Milli is very small. Meter is this big. Kilometer is very big, long distance. Similarly, in the US customary system, you will say inches. If you put 12 inches together, that is what becomes 1 foot. 12 inches will be equal to 1 foot. Now look at this. If you look at this, see 12 inches, 1 to 12, where you have red, that is 1 foot. So this length is 1 foot. Okay? 12 inches make 1 foot. Okay? Similarly, so the very smallest one is inches, then you have, so let's not try remembering it right now, you guys are way too young for that. So inches, then 12 inches make a foot, and then 3 foot make a yard, and 1760 yard make a mile. You can understand that if you put 12 inches together, that makes 1 foot. You put 3 foot together, that makes 1 yard. So how much is 1 yard? You will see this much. From here to here, this is 1 yard, 3 foot. Okay? And then 1760 yard makes 1 mile. So what I'm trying to say is, imagine how many foot together will be a mile. A mile is a long distance. Mile is not something that if you have to walk 1 mile, it takes some time, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, okay? So don't try to memorize all these things. I was just telling you guys that you have different units in different systems to measure small or big distances, okay? And we will do few sums related to this, which is more appropriate for your grade. And then we will see what is not understood in the next class, and we'll try solving things, okay? Summary of that is, when you have to measure length or distance, depending on how big or small the distance is, you use different units to measure it. You will not measure distance between my house and Sohita's house in inches or foot ever. That will be too big a number to deal with. Okay?
This is even bigger than foot.
Okay? So, with that being said, we'll conclude here. Anybody has any question?